Hello students, welcome to our next lecture, the molecular weight determination of polymers by light scattering method. Light scattering method. So in this technique we can determine the average molecular weight of the polymer. Now consider, if a strong beam of light is passed through the vacuum and transmit it through the direction of travel, and the path of the light cannot be detected. However, when light is passed through the medium containing the discrete particles, it gets scattered in all directions. See, these are the particles, these are dispersed particles, and this is the incident light, and due to this the light falls on these particles and the light get scattered here and there. So the light scattering account for many natural phenomena. You can see in rainbow also, rainbow, dusk, blue color sky, see the sea also, etc. So in this method we can determine the number average molecular weight of the polymer sample. When a beam of light is passed through the polymer solution, it gets scattered. It is due to the scattering of light that most of the sol appears turbid. So many solutions, they are turbid solutions of the polymers. So we can measure this in terms of the turbidity tau. It is called the turbidity tau. It may be defined as the fraction of incident light I0, which is scattered per centimeter length of the solution which is passed. So we can write this in this way also. So this is the turbidity. It is also known as the turbidity. Here I0 is the intensity of the incident light. I is the, and it is only I is the intensity of light after the passing through the thickness of a sample. See, this is the thickness of the sample, that is the x. So according to the Debye equation, the turbidity can be, the molecular weight of the polymer sample can be calculated as 90 is equal to Hc divided by tau is equal to 1 by mw plus twice bc plus dash dash dash, like this. So here b is again the virial coefficient. This is the virial coefficient, and c is the concentration of solution. This is R90, is not a G. R90 is the relay ratio at 90 degree angle. So here this is the incident light I0 falls on the some particles which have the length x, and the light is scattered, and this light scattered in terms of the I0, and this is the turbidity. So we can, if we measure this at this point, then it is the 90 degree or at 90 degree, like this. So these those equations hold good only for the particle which are the smaller than the wavelength of the light used. Remember that this equation only for the particles which are smaller than the wavelength of light used. So here k and h are the light scattering calibration constant, and they have the value k is equal to 2 pi square n square dn by dc square divided by lambda square, lambda raised to 4 n0, and h, again another calibrating constant, is 32 pi cube n square dn by dc raised to square 3 lambda raised to 4 n0. Here pi is the numerical value which have the 3.14 value. N is the refractive index. This n is the refractive index of the solution. This dn by dc is the refractive index increment, that is the change of the refractive index with respect to the concentration. And here lambda is the wavelength of the incident line, and if we are aware about this term, n0 is the Avogadro's number. So this equation, above equation 1, this is above equation is 1, can be written as hc theta concentration C to 0 is equal to hc tau constant limit C to 0 is equal to 1 by W bar. So we can write the equation 1, this equation 1, Kc 90 is equal to Sc tau is equal to this way, and it is applicable when the C is 0, concentration of is 0. So if we plot the hc by tau versus C, then we'll get this type of the graph, hsc by tau versus C. So if we extrapolated this up to this line, y-axis, then we will get the 1 by mw bar. So we get this weight average molecular weight of the polymer. But the problem is that our polymer is a coil in nature. It is a coil in nature, like this. So incident light will falls here and get reflected in this way, or it will falls on this, it will reflect it in this way. So there are the number of points to refract for the reflection of the light. So we have to apply another equation like Kc r theta is equal to Sc by tau is equal to 1 by mw into p theta. This is the p theta plus 2bc. Now here the factor p theta comes, and it is known as the particle scattering factor, and it has the value is around 1 minus 1 by 3 s square rg square. So this is the value. Again there is the term s comes, and s has the value, that is the 4 pi by lambda into sine theta by 2. So here rg, again there is a term rg is there. This rg is the radius of gyration, because our polymer is a coil in nature. Therefore we have to determine in this way. So the radius of gyration can be defined as the average root mean square distance of the atoms from the center of mass. This is called as the radius of gyration. So our equation, which equation? The equation becomes, this new equation becomes Kc R star is equal to 1 by plus 2bc plus 3r square rg square, like this. So now we have the two variants. So we can utilize this equation in the GIM plot. In GIM plot there is the line are drawn through the points at constant angle and extrapolated to zero concentration. Again we can draw the line at constant concentration and extrapolated to zero angle. In this way we can draw the GIM plot. So how the nature of GIM plot is? So this is a GIM plot. See, this is a GIM plot. Here the first this is our equation, this is the angle, and this is our concentration. They are kept constant. First if you keep the angle constant and extrapolate it to zero, then draw these lines like this way. This is for the lambda is equal to 0, and draw these lines because the concentration is going on changing in the same this way, and this way. Again keep the concentration constant and draw the lines in this way and extrapolate it to the y-axis, and we get the MW bar. So with the help of this GIM plot we can obtain the MW bar. So there is another example of this is GIM plot data. So if this is the concentration is constant, then at different angle we get the different value. So we put this value in this GIM plot.